President Trump addressing two major issues today while meeting with the president of South Korea, including his summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. We will get to his comments on that in a moment, but first, the president is commenting for the first time on camera about an FBI informant communicating with associates of his campaign.
A lot of people are saying they had spies in my campaign. I hope there weren't, frankly. But some man got paid based on what I read in the newspapers, and I think the Department of Justice wants to get down to it, and I can tell you Congress does. So if they had spies in my campaign, during my campaign for political purposes, that would be unprecedented in the history of our country.
Senator Chuck Schumer is saying these moves to learn more about the FBI informant are an attempt to obstruct the special counsel's Russia investigation.
While an investigation is open and active, demands for oversight are tantamount to interference, especially when the folks demanding the information are the most biased, irresponsible actors. A man like Devin Nunes, who I hear privately from my Republican colleagues, they think he's off the deep end.
Oh, please. All right, off the deep end, I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff going on. Okay, so here's a question, Kimberly.
Yeah.
The president has the power as the chief executive officer, the president of the United States, commander-in-chief, to declassify all of these documents.
Yes.
Would that just be a good idea?
You know,
get it over with?
I'm so glad that was the first question, because I think it's fascinating, and there are a lot of people calling for it, saying, you know what, let's just show complete transparency, declassify the documents, and put it all out there so there isn't some of this leaking this and leaking that, putting bits and pieces out. It will actually show the whole framework and exactly what happened and who did what. And maybe that's what the American people need at this point, instead of like a drip from the faucet coming down. Put it all out there, and then we'll know.
That's good. What do you think, Brian?
I think
you for that, or you're not for
look,
that?
Legal experts will say that that is a huge mistake, because there might be somebody inside Russia that we're dealing with right now that are helping us today. I would say this: if you're doing a counterterror operation, why don't you stop at the people? Why don't you start with the people that are actually trying to infiltrate, the Russians? Show some guts. Go over to Russia and ask them what's going on, or use your coy contacts to find out what they have to say. Instead, you're going up to these ancillary people on the Trump campaign, and nobody says they're major players, and trying to find out what somebody might have whispered to them in a drunken conversation. And for people to say, like Chuck Schumer, it's irresponsible to allow these people to find out who has infiltrated your campaign, that's because it's not your campaign. Right. If someone infiltrated Chuck Schumer's campaign, they wouldn't say, oh, wait a second, the FBI is allowed to have their sources. I don't blame President Trump for being outraged to find out what was going on in or not going on with this Cambridge attorney, or excuse me, the Cambridge professor. I don't blame him for finding out Carter Page, Clovis, and Caputo, what was happening with these guys and the names that came out. Why wouldn't he be curious about that? It would be illogical for him not to be. The only thing at stake is his presidency and how long he stays.
Well, okay, Juan, let me ask you then about the idea that if the deep state, if we're calling it that, was so determined to hurt President Trump, what about the Democrats feeling like they actually hurt Clinton more because they kept the FBI investigation into the Trump campaign under wraps, but were more forthcoming in the press about Clinton?
Well, I mean, I think that's, you know, it kind of contradicts the whole flow of what you're seeing now coming from the president and conservative media, that the campaign that was hurt by the FBI was the Clinton campaign. There was no damage done to President Trump's campaign. In fact, I mean, there's some people who are arguing that because they were conducting counterintelligence operations as opposed to a criminal investigation, they were actually trying to protect and try to act as a buffer to keep the Russian influence out of all the campaign, including the Trump campaign. But I think what you're seeing now, in response to your question, Dana, is an effort by the president, and I think it's unprecedented, to sort of weaponize an investigation into the investigation into him.
But is it weaponizing, Greg, if it's the Justice Department saying, okay, look, we have an inspector general that everyone seems to support, Michael Horowitz, because he's a fair guy, and he said that he'll take a look at this as well. So can we just let that play out? But it could be months.
What is Russian for Mexican standoff? Because that's what we have right now.
Standoffsky?
There you go. Spy versus spy. Look, I actually see what the question that you just asked, Juan. I see the opposite. Hillary's investigation was put in the press to help her. It was to help. Remember what Comey said?
Yes.
Got to get this out of the way, because if she wins and this comes out, we look really bad. So let's help her. Trump's was kept under wraps because they wanted to catch him.
Right.
That was all. That's why you see why is this one known and why is this one? You can look at it any way.
Or because they thought he wasn't going to win.
Yeah, that's true. Could be, but it is. You're going back to the Laurel and the Yanni, which I will never give up. The fact is, which collusion story now is more persuasive? All right, so let's take the Yanni, which is the Trump collusion story. It's been going on for 18 months. We haven't found a damn thing. Then you look at the Laurel of collusion. FBI, Hillary, Democrats, the British spy, one informant, maybe two informants inserted into the campaign. If you compare these two sides, you got one where there was a meeting with a woman about the Majinsky Act. That's something like that, right? Ooh, that's earth-shattering. Meanwhile, you got a dossier paid for by Hillary. You got an informant, maybe two, placed as a favor. You have the press playing it down. You have the dossier contents leaked. When you start comparing these things, one is making a hell of a lot more sense as collusion than the other.
I think you're going down what I would call the rabbit hole, because there's a lot of conspiracy theories.
Juan, we've been going down this rabbit hole now for 18 months.
Yes,
Forgive me if I find another rabbit hole to go down.
And you know who brought us down that hole?
stop.
The
Yes.
Washington Post and New York Times on Thursday. They began to leak out information, maybe to get ahead of inquiry
Preempt.
conclusions, to let us know that there's a rabbit hole out there that you're about to go down. So let me give you an idea what's at the bottom. Here's what I would say. I think Alan Dershowitz nailed it when he said, I don't care if it's the 98 Clinton investigation or now the 2017-16 Clinton-Trump campaign. You will never get to the bottom of it as long as it is this type of operation. We got to go back to the 9/11 Commission to get answers, publish the results, because it did not affect the election. You should just find out what's wrong to stop the next problem, because this horse is out of the barn and no one even saw the horse.
Well, see, I think there's a problem here. First of all, this latest effort to somehow say, I hereby demand, like he is not president, but he's some authoritarian ruler. I hereby demand that the justice...
Words, not deeds.
That, to me, well, what happened, Greg? Immediately, Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, said, okay, I'm going to do this. And the question becomes, is he simply trying to appease the president? Or is he following orders?
You're obsessing over words.
Oh,
I hereby.
see.
Okay, so it sounds like King Arthur's castle.
It sure does. It sounds like a king, not the president of the United States. Because you are normalizing this kind of abuse of power while the president is under a special prosecutor's
As you defend another abuse of power.
But what I think everyone's missing is not who's right or wrong. It affected, if Trump is trying to run an election, he hires his foreign policy counsel that he got on the back of a Cheerios box. And they go out and they do their thing, and somehow they are targeted by this informant to see what information they have. Why can't he find out what happened?
But the government told the Trump campaign the Russians are going to try to do this.
Yes.
Okay, so they knew. And then the people that were on the campaign, we know that they did have these contacts, the Mickey Mouse, whatever, drunken things. But those weren't disclosed, Kimberly. So then you have this question. And I agree, the Laurel and Yanni thing. But I don't understand. If we ask, the House Republicans are asking, 12 House Republicans are asking for a second special counsel. If you want to make this so much longer and lead this show every day for the next 10 months on this issue, that would be a good way to do it.
But that's still unfair, because you're saying we'll keep going with we'll keep going with this other investigation, and we'll keep saying.
I'm saying release all. I want it to end. Release all the documents tomorrow.
But you should also say, well, if they think this is just as important, then it's just as important.
Okay, so Dana, just to finish this, so we concur on that they should just release all the documents, because I think then we're going to try, get another special counsel. Let's have the IG report come out. Let's have the documents released. It's certainly within the power and authority of the President of the United States to do so. So it's not like he's trying to hide something. He's saying, let's put it all out there. And as it relates to any people that we have operating in the theater that could be compromised, you can redact their names. It's not like you just turn it over and there's nothing. There are protections in place. This legal expert is